In the US, you would never think of contamination just because you think, as the US says, all the cities having money. But Flint, Michigan is a state that is definitely having contamination in the water because they are unable to switch their pipes because Flint, Michigan does not have that much money as the city. And although the federal government is providing water filters, it still doesn't fix the problems because, again, people are having to drink that contaminated water. And what if, like, the filter went out? So, I mean, the federal government should definitely help with fixing the pipes just because people are getting very sick due to the lead they are drinking, and it could potentially stop the illness from others from drinking the lead in the water. So, with this, lead is never good to drink. It definitely affects the body in the long term. With the lead and people drinking that contaminated water with other bacteria in there, it can create mental health by having memory loss, and then along it can affect the body just because they're getting so high levels of lead in that body. With children, they have found it's become more common to find lead in children, and many more children are being affected than adults. And um, with this, it's very dangerous for children just because they can, with the lead, it can actually potentially cause death, but in the long term, it can create memory loss, and that's something some adults are already having to deal with just again because of the lead. And with the government, if they were not to do something about this, it can create a really big health problem where it can affect a lot of people, which it already is, but it can affect even more people in Flint, Michigan. So, a plan that the federal government can do is definitely by fixing the pipes, by replacing them. And although, like, it doesn't have to be all from the government, Flint can actually, in my idea, maybe they can raise their taxes so they can find ways to replace the pipes, and the federal government can help donate some money to help replace those pipes as well. And something else, people, there can be a donation site where people can donate money to be able to help Flint, Michigan replace those pipes as well. Although this does seem easy, there will be people who are against this idea just because, one, people who don't live there may not want to help and see why should I donate when I don't even live there and I'm not facing the problem. But also, some people may be against it just because they will see that Flint, Michigan is a low class level of living, and they will blame the people of Flint, Michigan for that problem when they have no control over it. So people in higher classes will see that it's not their problem and just will ignore them, and that can be a problem. But in the end, um, they can it will just be a problem with having that. But um, until that, then the Flint, Michigan will have this problem because they are still trying to find other ways to have clean water instead of fixing the major problem, which is replacing the pipes. And if they were to get fixed, people could just drink the water without having to worry about the contamination or the high levels of lead, and they will not get ill. And if fixed, again, they can just have the stress of not, I mean, sorry, they would just remove all that stress of having contamination. And although, again, it seems easy for people to help donate, some people will definitely be against it. But from there, um, the city just needs help. But again, the federal government just needs to help the city just because it has been a problem for a long time now that people are starting to become really ill and affecting them in the long term.